of shows on the road today. We're actually in my hometown, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I've got a story today about a trade school teacher working in inner city Pittsburgh that's going to be both heartwarming and a little bit sad at the same time, I suspect. If you're not familiar with Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, my hometown, let me give you the 1-minute history. You know, Pittsburgh rose to national prominence in the 1800s and 1900s. It's really known as the Steel City. That's where the name Steelers, my favorite football team, came from. And it was our manufacturing prowess that really got us there. There were mills up and down all the rivers. My grandfather, an immigrant who came over from Europe in the early 1900s, seeking a better life, worked for U.S. Steel and the tube mill his entire life. My dad worked for U.S. Steel until he lost his job in the 1980s. The steel mills in Pittsburgh were economic powerhouses, just making tons of money, but they never reinvested that, or they didn't reinvest that money. And when the Japanese and the Germans and the Koreans after the war started really making modern plants for steel, the global competition along with the lack of technology really absolutely cratered the industry in the 1970s and 80s, and that had massive impacts throughout all of Pittsburgh. One of the impacts that affects me to this day, and I think will be interesting to you guys, is housing. You know, the working class and even some of the upper class neighborhoods that were right downtown were gorgeous, built in the 1800s and early 1900s. Double wide brick, beautiful row houses and single families, just gorgeous houses. But when the economy really collapsed, white flight happened. This happened a little bit in some other cities as well, but especially prominent in Pittsburgh. White middle-class working families moved out of those neighborhoods, and African-American families, for a number of reasons, you know, including racial discrimination, frankly, and discriminatory lending, didn't move out. And so those neighborhoods became predominantly poor and predominantly African-American. Absolutely gorgeous houses, but some rough neighborhoods. So when I was growing up here in the 1980s and 90s, my church got involved with an inner city Pittsburgh ministry in the north side of Pittsburgh where the houses were gorgeous. A lot of the houses I worked on were owned by elderly African-American families that just didn't have the money to maintain them, and they were in real disrepair. And that's where I found my love for construction. You know, I worked with homeowners that didn't look like me, didn't grow up in my neighborhood, and I found out were amazing people that I didn't know many African-American people growing up. So it was really, really good for me as a young man. I also learned that working with my hands made people happy and really was beneficial to society. And these homeowners were super thankful to have me and my group of young colleagues, you know, high school kids and college-age kids, come help them with their house. So today we're going to meet my friend Adam Kenard, who works for a similar organization, a little bit different. We're going to learn about urban impact a little bit today, but he's doing work in inner city, teaching kids that live in the inner city some trade skills. And so we're going to learn about Adam, and my hope is that you might even consider supporting either Adam specifically or this ministry that he's working with that's doing amazing work in inner city Pittsburgh. With that being said, let's go meet Adam for breakfast and learn about what's happening in the trade school program in inner city Pittsburgh. Let's get going. All right, y'all. Inner city Pittsburgh, we're on the north side. Let me introduce you to my buddy, Adam Kenard. Adam, I consider you my inner city missionary buddy.
Oh, thank you.
He works for Urban Impact. And what's the name of your program specifically?
I oversee the construction trades program.
Okay, so you're teaching middle school and high school age kids what skills?
I just tell people I teach 5th through 12th graders how to use power tools. And
I love it.
Because everyone can understand what a power tool is.
And this building is gorgeous. Can you show us the shop?
Yeah, come on.
All right, let's go see it. So this building is how old, do you think, Adam?
Our guess is at least 100 years old. Based off of all the lumber is like They're actual 2x12.
Look how beautiful this shop space is. I love it. Oh, every woodworker, builder watching this video is jealous of this space. Can you imagine a building like this to be your HQ? God, this is gorgeous, man. I love seeing the shop.
To be in the space.
This is really cool. You got a ton of tools. You got everything organized. You got a paint station over here. What are the signs that I'm seeing on the wall here?
So those are our shop values, and
Okay.
we in trying to instill that if any student were to do these 3 things every day for their employer, that these would be things that would make them fireable proof. Like they're going to get a promotion, they're going to be successful in their work if they can be positive, if they can give their best effort each day, and if they can show up on time.
I mean, those are great rules for life. Unless the economy goes down, you're going to keep your job if you have those
Correct.
things.
Right.
If you do those things.
For everything you can control, this would keep you your job.
That's fabulous. I mean, for a trades program to teach kids that's every builder in America wants that.
Right.
That's for sure. And I'm seeing some more over here. What are these?
So these are our rules and the philosophy of the shop. So our goal is to create a loving atmosphere, a place where every kid feels accepted and can feel appreciated.
Okay.
And we do these things by our 4 respects.
Okay.
Respecting myself, others, authority, and property.
All right. So give me an example of like how you would talk about that with a high school age student when it comes to respecting authority or respecting property or others, that sort of thing.
So, I mean, in the shop, it's easy. If you decide to take the miter saw and start cutting a piece of steel just because you're angry that you didn't get to go have a snack when you want it to, that would be not respecting property.
Yeah.
Or if we're telling you to stop horseplaying, then that's not authority. Or if you start picking on someone, actually that's not respecting yourself or others, because there's self-esteem issues usually in people that decide to bully somebody else.
Yeah, that's right.
So we have found that all rules fit in those 4 categories.
I love it.
Makes it simple, makes it easy, and we made them really big to where we just have to point at them when a student is misbehaving. You just point.
I love it, man. And these are universal life rules, right? Adam and I are longtime believers in Jesus. But these Judeo-Christian values are things that can make you successful, whether you believe in Jesus like we do or not, right? If you show up on time and you give your best efforts and you're positive, you're going to do great at work.
Correct.
No matter what your boss is like, no matter what you're like, no matter what your belief system is.
Right.
These are universal laws.
Your coworkers are going to like you. You're going to have respect from people around you. And I tell, as much as I love construction and I watch all your videos and I spend way too much time watching videos, I tell students that if they never swing a hammer again in their life, that's fine. But if they can do those 3 things, if I can instill those work values, and if I can instill the respects in those kids, then they will be successful in life.
Oh man, I love it. And so good.
And then that adds a positive kid back into our community, and then that slowly makes our community better.
Amen. So good. Give us a little shop tour. I mean, this couldn't be any prettier. I feel like I'm on an episode of This Old House.
So the kind of the general flow when we're in building large things, this construction program actually started as a theatrical program. So building sets, sceneries, theater, film.
So these are all sets over here, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we just took them apart this last night from our summer show and just got delivered yesterday. How the shop kind of lays out is the far bay over to the right.
Okay.
Here is the idea is lumbers comes in to the garage door and processed.
Got it. Yeah, I love it.
So we have lumber racks, we have our miter saw, our table saw to process.
Look at your awesome saw stop. I love seeing that.
Raw materials, right? Then we move to the center aisle where we kind of have our work tables. We set up electrical and air above each of our shop.
Yeah, so this is air distribution here, right?
We overbuilt everything. But
Rockwell gave you a bunch of insulation to make a soundproof room for your compressor.
Sound version of their
safe and sound.
Safe and sound.
Yep.
So we did a double stud wall because, why not? So this just gives us a nice little hum. We even added a thermostat and a little fan in the back. So if the room gets a little too warm for the air compressor, it gets a little fresh air. So, but yeah, we quieted that out.
That's
and
awesome.
Gary and Windsor One gave us a little fancy molding for.
I love it. I love it. That's probably from the Brent Hull collection somewhere. Have you gotten any tool manufacturers to donate anything?
As of right now, we haven't.
Okay, so if you're a tool manufacturer watching Adam's program, would love to make your contact.
Yes.
To make your
Especially,
acquaintance.
We committed to Makita like 7 years ago, and like some of the original drills and impacts we've had to repair, replace, but our initial like 10 batteries are still pumping full.
How about that? That's a commercial for
I'm
Makita
so
right there.
thankful for
Makita
that.
needs to give you a shout, get you on a commercial.
But as any builder knows, if it's not organized, then you're just going back to Home Depot to buy it again.
That's right.
So we try really hard to keep the hardware organized, keep our tools in a good place so we can use them
That's
over and
fabulous.
over again.
Love it.
So, and then finally over here is paint and assembly.
Okay. So you got a big paint station over here, it looks like.
Yep. An old kitchen sink that we had.
Sweet.
That I was able to harvest because those things are, a lot of people like the big bay sinks.
Yeah, big slop sinks as I call them. Yeah, great for washout stations.
So that's great. And then we try to leave
There's
this
your Makita
area
right
as
there.
open as possible. There we go. Just for all of the painting of scenery, because painting always takes more room than you think it's going to.
Now, did you tell me that you had a famous carpenter stop by and do a little work on this wall with your students at some point?
So part of our goal as the shop is to also branch into more direct residential construction. So we're going to start that by doing sheds and dive into that. And yes.
Who was it?
Gary Strigler came by the shop.
Yes, Gary.
And he helped us install the door, did all the molding for the door, and I can actually, there's some kitchen cabinets and some other cabinets just on the other side that he helped us build.
Oh my gosh.
So that was a lot of fun. He was here for 2 days, did the door install, did cabinets. We built a little wall cabinet with all the kids. It was, man, and it was hot that week too. Gary, it was normal temperatures for Gary. It was not normal temperatures for Pittsburgh.
He's from the South, so he's used to
yeah.
it. Gary is a prince, but man, if you don't know Gary Strigler, he's written for Fine Home Building, JLC, a master carpenter, a builder from
Arkansas.
Arkansas, that's right.
Bentonville, I believe.
Yes, I remember in like the 90s, he was doing articles on pocket screws. We were like, what? What is a pocket screw? He's an amazing guy. And he came here for how many days?
2.
2 days, taught his students, didn't charge him a dime.
Nope.
Just donated his time and volunteered. What a prince of a man. I'm so thankful. If you are a Gary Strigler wannabe, you should call Adam and come teach for 2 days as well.
Yeah, and to Gary's credit, he leveraged his influence with a lot of different companies to send us product.
Oh my gosh.
And to get
Wow.
shout out specifically to Windsor One. They donated all of the molding for the
How about that?
all of this molding and all the molding for all the cabinets and such. So they
Fabulous.
did a great job.
I love it. Adam told me that he's rehabbing a new house for his family. We're like, I don't know, how far are we from where you work?
15-minute walk, so right at 3/4 of a mile.
Super close. And so what's the age on this house, you think, Adam?
97 years.
Okay, so almost 100 years old. Let's take a quick tour. You ready?
Yeah.
Brick on the outside. This looks like this porch was enclosed at some point, right? This was probably all open when it was first built.
I'm thinking because of how the brick goes that it was always there, but all the architecture of the neighborhood shows that this normally would not have been enclosed.
Yeah, so they added this later, I bet. That would make sense.
So,
Oh my gosh, look how beautiful this is, Adam. Dang, this is a gorgeous house. I love it. I bet this fixture's really old too, and look at, they never painted the woodwork too, which is really nice to see.
between the woodwork and the stained glass that the house has.
Oh yeah, look at that stained glass on the front door. That's gorgeous. And look at your original hardwood floors too, that had carpet on them. You can see all the carpet tack. Did you pull the carpet?
Yes, just recently.
And
so
look
we've only owned the house for like 9 days at this point.
Oh, is that right? Okay. And then look at the stained glass too. Oh, this is gorgeous. So what are you gonna do to the house?
So our goal is to do a kitchen renovation, remove a wall, open up the kitchen and the dining room space. We've got to make a decision if we're going to keep the boiler, keep boiler heat. There's no air conditioning, so try to add air conditioning in a reasonable way. And then within budget and constraints, like how much building science can we put into it?
Right.
How can we push the healthy house as far as we can with our pennies?
Yeah, air sealing and insulation on an old house are real important too, but we also got to be careful. Like if we air seal it a bunch, now the fireplace won't draw, right? And some of those kinds of things. So we got to be cautious. Is this the original kitchen when you bought it? How much have you started ripping out already?
This was the dining room. All of these cabinets came from the kitchen to the left.
I gotcha.
We're actually talking about moving the kitchen, but...
So this is the original kitchen.
Correct.
And is this plaster back here?
Yes, all of this is plaster and lath.
Gosh, and look what was behind. The plaster was all gone behind what, the dishwasher maybe?
Right. Yeah, it's even small things that are just interesting that we found that they actually had a drain specifically for the dishwasher.
Oh, really?
So
why did they put aluminum foil?
I don't know.
Where the dishwasher was. Maybe for air sealing purposes?
Right. Or
they might have had a draft through there.
So the other thing that I found weird is like they put a hole in the floor below the dishwasher, which at first I thought was weird, but then the slop sink for the basement is underneath this, so I'm guessing the guy was like, if it floods, there will be a hole underneath it.
It's actually pretty smart.
I was like, I give him credit for that.
Yeah, and his vinyl floor ran in there. It acts kind of like a pan.
So,
and he's got all solid wood in there, and look, here's his little radiator. And they had wallpaper in here and marble sills. These windows are probably 70s or 80s.
Right. There are still a few original windows.
And look at that door. That's beautiful. So that's a take on a Dutch door I've never seen before. Full-size door, 6'8" door, but look at the venting transom. A venting transom, that's what I'm trying to say. That's neat. I've never seen that before. I like that. That's kind of cool. Different.
Yeah. And we actually have a half bath on the first floor, which for Pittsburgh,
unusual.
Turn of the century architecture is very unusual.
Yeah. I suspect a steel worker, one of the steel mills, this built 100 years ago. That was kind of after World War I, but before World War II. Probably a steel worker, middle class steel worker lived here. Yeah. Would be my guess. Something like that.
We found a couple things that there's actual 1x subfloor, and then the hardwoods went on top of that, which I know is also like for 1930s would have been an upgrade.
Yeah.
The foundation wall is a block wall.
Look at that pretty knob. The foundation's block?
Block, yeah, not sandstone. So that would have been an increase in cost at some point.
Yeah, that's right. And here's that half bath right here. Pretty. Gosh, that tile is old too.
Yeah, you should see the tile in the bathroom.
The vanity's new though. That's 1970s or 60s maybe. Maybe this bath's probably 60s. They refurbed this bath at some point. Yeah. I love the old doors though. We going up or down?
Yeah, we can go up.
Go up first. That's an original window right there.
Correct.
Does it operate?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, works great. Brent Hall would love that window.
Yeah.
Not much to do there. That's great. Oh, it works wonderfully.
That's one of the questions of the day is what we will do with that on the outside.
Maybe storm windows on that, Adam?
Well, yes. So our thought was on all the stained glass windows, just a casement window from the outside, just to seal it, not to try to make it operable. Mm-hmm. So you land in this landing, and then it's 4 bedrooms, which is again kind of odd for Pittsburgh. But
and Madam's got 1 kid and 1 who's due any day now, so having 4 bedrooms means you got a room for each kiddo, plus you've got room for a guest. And so they had window rattlers to cool the bedrooms down. Not unusual for Pittsburgh to see a lot of these in the windows.
Oh, yes.
And they work decently well. I wonder why the paint was peeling up here.
I don't know, because it only peeled in this room.
I bet there's a lack of insulation or something, and there was maybe some condensation or something like that happening in that room. This room's in great shape, jeez.
Yeah.
Original built-in over here too, even.
And then all of the rooms except this one have a full depth closet. So in Pittsburgh, it's not common to have full depth. So you turn your hangers 90 degrees to what everyone else in America does.
Right.
But all of these actually have full depth closets, which is really strange. This is the only room that doesn't actually have a closet. So this is a built-in, but We have like home office, homeschool room, kind of, and such is what my wife is plotting for this.
I love the radiator. It's in great shape. It'd be nice to reuse those radiators for heat.
Yes.
Was this a gas appliance here? What do you think was going on here?
It looks like a gas line. It also,
Or maybe it was another accessory boiler? Or
Yes.
Radiator rather?
And then there's also those two lines as well, which
yeah.
I don't know
What's up with that?
what
I'm not sure what those were.
they would have been in this context.
Yeah, that's weird.
And then we got one more.
Ooh, yes. Feels like we're ascending into heaven with this heavenly light here. This is a lot of natural light. I love it. Oh, we got a little attic too right here.
Yeah, so
Oh, killer. We can see how the attic's built. It's a little hard to see, y'all, but a little peek into the non-insulated but perfect lumber after 100 years. It's kind of nice. No insulation on this door too. This area gets cold, I suspect.
to that point, it's really cool because they actually put doors into each of the attics. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is cool. Wow, you have a ton of space here.
yeah.
Neat. I love it. This is a cool room. I want this as my kid's bedroom to grow up in.
But then there's another,
There's no bath up here though, right? They'd have to go downstairs.
yes.
Yeah.
There's no bath.
But
yeah,
there's radiators, so you
they're
can heat
already-
it.
And another attic access.
Yeah, hard to see in there, but yeah.
And then another attic access.
Wow, wild.
And then this is interesting. And our real estate agent said that this was not uncommon
What?
for like servant quarters on the third
Oh,
floor.
really? So maybe they had a servant and they would use the sink here.
To wash up and things like that. So
Whoa.
uncommon in a lot of Pittsburgh houses, but not uncommon for the
Nationally or for the time period.
right.
Huh.
So
Fascinating.
currently doesn't work. Probably water is off, but
Yeah. I don't know if you'd want that to work for the kids or not. You gotta think about that one.
yeah. So we talked about maybe some level of third floor suite for us up here, and then, but we're still kind of brainstorming and seeing where
Yeah.
the good old budget.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go downstairs and see what the
Yes.
basement looks like. That's always fascinating.
So the last 15 years, the house has been owned by the church next door
Oh, okay.
as a program space and then as a missionary home.
Oh, interesting.
When people came back. So
Okay.
my wife and I have enjoyed that little bit of propheticness since we're missionaries on the north side.
Oh man, check out this basement. This is awesome. And frankly, pretty good head height down here too.
Yes, which I'm very thankful for.
So that water heater for domestic hot's pretty new, it looks like.
Yes.
It was put in. I love it when people, builder friends, always do this. That's so helpful when you put a date on there to know when that was put in. But how about the radiator or the boiler over
Boiler's
here?
old, so I don't know exactly how old, but it's just
It's been around at least since the 50s or 60s, 50s maybe.
okay.
I would suspect, just based on what I'm seeing here. And is it natural gas?
Yes, natural gas.
That's good. So at least you don't have to deal with an oil issue. Like a lot of boilers from the 50s were oil fired. And you come down into a basement like this and there's a giant oil tank that you got to deal with. I mean, frankly, a lot of people still get oil deliveries to this day.
Wow.
And in rural areas, you might see this fired with propane sometimes too.
Mm-hmm. So to say all that, I'm assuming that it's natural gas because
It looks
tell
natural
us that
gas.
it's otherwise, and we have not found.
Have you fired it up? Does it work?
We've not fired it up.
I'm assuming it heated the house because they
Right.
had people here.
Yes.
I mean, so if it works, you might just let that go for a little while and save that for a future
Right.
$15,000 bonus
Right.
check someday.
So this is some of the manuals that I don't think that so this is probably a Brent's Alley.
Frickin' Lindsay Company, what is
But
that?
it's all
oh my gosh.
I mean, this is
Look how
common
cool that is.
compression gauge.
You wonder if a plumber lived here maybe, or an
This book is
engineer.
everything.
Oh,
Industrial
that's the
thermometers,
coolest
brake,
book.
breast stem whistles.
Oh, that's so neat. Look at all these neat oil devices. Engineers, perfection hand oilers. Oh man,
So
that is such a cool catalog, and all the block and tackle.
yeah, so like
And that's
just-
a Pittsburgh company.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
And then like a really, I don't know how old this is. This is Unistrut.
Oh yeah, Unistrut.
But let's see.
A little old
there's-
Unistrut catalog.
There was a handful of other stuff, but this is just some of the stuff we kept because I can't keep it all.
Yeah, I love it.
So.
And this door goes to the outside.
Yeah.
Does it work? Can you actually go out? Little security right there. That's good.
A little extra into it.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we've got a little walkout, and then you got a garage back here too.
Right.
Cool. This garage hasn't been used in a while. It doesn't look like.
No, it doesn't. In most garage, but this is kind of cool. Just that is.
Oh, look at that garage door action. That is so neat. I've never seen that before.
So yeah, that set opens just straight open like normal doors,
Like a carriage door.
like a carriage door.
But that's
This
your
one,
OG overhead.
yeah,
That's neat, man. Block building.
yeah. The garage needs
Just
a
church.
lot of
It was
love.
kind of church storage for a long time, it looks like. Man, this is cool, dude. I think you need to strip this back, strip off all the paint, take all the drywall off, and just expose all the structure and leave this as an unheated garage storage space. Because it's so pretty. And you could probably strip all the paint back on these doors and get these in good shape again and bring that building back to its original glory. Makes me want to build one like this. I love the hip roof too. Your gutters have a few weeds growing in them. You got to take care of the weeded gutters.
Okay.
And you got a little back porch.
Well, someone has to love box gutters. It's not me.
I like box gutters. They're kind of a cool look. It's funny there's no fences on any of these backyards. That's unusual for Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Normally have very closed backyards. It's a beautiful house, man. I love it. Adam, you're doing amazing work, my friend. I'm so thankful for you. We're going to put a link in the description to Adam's organization that he's a part of. He's not the head, actually. There are lots of other people here.
Yep.
And it's really fun for me to be back here because when I was in junior high, I started working for this organization called the Pittsburgh Project through my church in Mount Lebanon, where I grew up. And so I was all through this neighborhood in my middle school years, my high school years, and I interned here 2 summers in college. Between that and watching this old house in the 1980s, I really kind of developed my love for construction, and I honestly didn't know I was going to become a builder in the 80s. But the work you're doing here is so heartwarming to me to see that this neighborhood is still being loved and transformed. You know, as followers of Christ, there's this passage in the Bible where Jesus talks about us being salt and light. And salt, you know, today we only think of salt as being something that adds taste. But salt was meant to stem decay, to stop meat from rotting, to stop decay from happening. You'd salt your fish so it wouldn't go bad. And so what you're doing here is salt and light in this neighborhood.
Amen.
And you know, the urban areas of Pittsburgh have seen a lot of decay, a lot of injustice, a lot of bad things happened here. But you know, these neighborhoods were gorgeous, and it's fun for me to drive around and see some of that change that's happened in the time since I really haven't been through these neighborhoods much since the 1990s. And it's fun to see, as I was driving behind you, some of the change and some of the transformation. But I'm so thankful for what you're doing, man, and changing the future for so many of these youths. So my hope is that construction workers in Pittsburgh will contact you and hire your students. Maybe some of you will want to support Adam and his work here, or maybe some of the work of Urban Impact. So I'll put a link in the description for all those. In the meantime, of course, pray for Adam and his family, that they would continue in this work and that they would be blessed for doing it. So guys, I appreciate your support. If you're not currently a subscriber, hit that subscribe button below. It's a little bit of an abnormal build show. We talk about all kinds of stuff, but I wanted to give a little bit of a heartwarming story for you today to show you what Adam's been doing here in my hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I'm so thankful for you, brother. Thank you. All right, guys, hit that subscribe button below. We know how to finish my videos, right? Follow us on Instagram or Facebook. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on The Build Show.